Hello, welcome back to another video tutorial here at Geekatplay Studios. My name's Gary Miller. I got an email the other day from a fellow who wanted to know how do you create sci-fi buildings. And he provided me with a couple links to probably one of the most favored and well-known artists, modelers, and texturers that's out there in the field, and that is Stefan Morrell, who creates just some really spectacular work. And the fellow who sent me this email provided me with a couple links to Stefan's work, and after contacting Stefan and obtaining his permission to show his images, I wanted to present these images up here as an example of some really cool sci-fi modeling. And the question was, how do I create these? And when I looked at these pictures, I thought, that's a good question. How would one go about creating these? When I look at these images, I get pretty intimidated because the modeling is very intricate. There's a lot of details to them, and I thought, oh, how would I go about creating them? But then as I looked at them a little bit closer, I realized that every building, every specific model can be made in a modular fashion. In other words, if you look at any one of the given models, any one of the given buildings here in these images, you can break them down into various individual elements, model those individual features or those elements, and then put the whole building together, and then you'll have something that looks like what Stefan Morrell created. Well, the objective of this video is not to duplicate his work, but rather in looking at his work and getting some design ideas, we can draw some from these images, some ideas and some creativity that we can apply into our own models. Now, I am the first to say that I cannot I cannot create 3D images. It is something I just do not have the ability to do. And I've thought about it over the years. Why can't I create good sci-fi images like this? And I've come to the conclusion, and that is because it's not something I am familiar with. If I were asked to create a house, a factory, an apartment building, model a tree, model a rock, model a bird, model virtually anything that I have contact with in my everyday life, well, I could do that very easily because I am familiar with most things in my everyday environment. I can therefore picture them in my head, and because I can picture them in my head, I can then apply that to either creating a model or putting together a scene like what Stefan Morrell has put together. But I am not familiar with sci-fi stuff because essentially these are images, these are environments that don't exist. They don't exist except in the mind of the creator. And I just do not have the artistic training and the creativity to create something like this. And as I said before, I'm not going to recreate Stefan Morrell's work. I'm not going to copy his buildings, but instead what I will do is, in looking at his images and looking at some of the features of the buildings that he has created, I've created 3 sci-fi buildings here that incorporate many of the elements that he has put into the buildings of the images that I just showed. So, as we work through these tutorials and we reconstruct each one of these individual buildings that I have created here, it will give you, the viewer, the ability to create lots of different sci-fi buildings by using the various modeling techniques and elements that are in these various buildings that we're going to recreate here. The creativity part is up to you because I do not have that, but I think I can pretty faithfully show you how to create these buildings here, and then let you take the ideas and apply them to your own models. So we're going to get started by creating, we'll get started by creating this one here.